Or we can simply say only 1 out of every 5 people is gainfully employed, or 4 in 5 people is dependent, inclusive of the people with disability. That's very gloomy. Now, this dependency ratio is extremely high, and it needs to reduce if our country is going to prosper. Current population projections indicate we will surpass the 1 million people mark by 2031, making Solomon Islands the second most populated country in the Pacific at that point. We would overtake Fiji and be second to Papua New Guinea in population terms. It is projected that at the current population growth rate, ladies and gentlemen, our population will reach 1.37 million people by 2050, roughly double our current estimated population. These population figures, ladies and gentlemen, mean that in the next 28 years to 2050, Solomon Islands will produce another 600 to 700,000 people. We currently produce 50 birds every day, equivalent to 2 classrooms every day, or 1 new primary school every week, or 1 new primary and secondary school every 2 weeks. Me stop worrying now. Ladies and gentlemen, our current annual birds is 18,000. Over 18,000 is more than the total population of Cook Islands and Niue put together. And ladies and gentlemen, these are concerning statistics, very concerning. Our growing population is putting a lot of pressure on this country's service delivery, and if we do not decentralize development to our provinces, we will have a repeat of what happened in 1998, except it will be much larger, and the scale of what might occur will make what occurred in 1998 appear insignificant. The serious concern, ladies and gentlemen, that needs to be asked is, if we are struggling with the current population of below 700,000 people today, how will the country support a population that is double our current population in 30 years' time? How can we prepare a development platform that will support this future population? And ladies and gentlemen, the silver lining on the cloud is that our population is a young one. It's a young one. And that can be productive. That's a silver lining. 70% of our total population is below the age of 35 years, and we have one of the highest unemployment rates in the Pacific, as we heard from the chairman. However, the challenge is tapping into our human resource to make it productive. And this is where I believe YECSI plays a very significant and critical role. Ladies and gentlemen, that said, the government too must be responsive to our demographic makeup and development needs. It is extremely challenging to start a business, let alone run a business, a successful one in the provinces. There are several success stories, but they are the exception to the rule. It is even rare for young people to start a business in the capital. And since independence, we have not fully decentralized development to our provinces to impact our economy in a huge way. Most of the existing infrastructure were built by our colonial rulers, the Japanese and the Americans during World War II, and to a certain extent, past governments. However, I must say that we are still lacking in connecting our islands through infrastructure and this has made it unattractive for people to start businesses in the rural areas where more than 80% of our population live. This has resulted in most of us converging in Honiara, looking for opportunities. And whilst the population in Honiara continues to increase, the land size in Honiara remains the same. Going into the future, this will not change. Past governments have been trying to build infrastructure in the provinces, but the progress has been very, very slow. What we need is a major capital injection into building of roads, bridges, wharves, and airports in our rural areas to improve connectivity and access to markets. These infrastructures, ladies and gentlemen, are enablers to economic development, and they ensure the operational overheads costs are kept to a minimal, thus increasing profit margins. Ladies and gentlemen, your government is adamant to build this new infrastructure, and thank you very much, and revitalize our old ones to provide the economic network that this country will drive upon to do business in the not too distant futures. And that's where we thank our development partners who are with us, have been with us since independence, and will continue to be with us. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, business is an integral component to nation building, and young entrepreneurs is the answer for a dynamic economy. Now, whilst the government is building hard infrastructures on one hand, on the flip side, the government must also build soft infrastructure to support the youth population to have a better future. As such, allow me to share a few thoughts towards a positive mindset. There are some social conditions that young people must aspire and live by. Firstly, and of course, and most important, is a healthy and moral life shaped by our amazing cultures. Young people, our culture is a bedrock to the future. We have cultural values in hard work to earning a living. Our cultures teaches us to fish and to toil the soil. Our cultures encourages us to survive and to be productive members of our national society. We have cultural values to be competitive and to strive for success. Our cultures teaches us to respect each other and help one another to achieve each other's dreams in life. And I believe our people must embrace these cultures to support our positive attitude to arrest our ongoing social challenges. Now, this means we must put all our efforts to ensure our young people do not engage in social deviances in our society. We must shift the huge energy into a mindset of productivity in whatever they are good at. We must all support a positive mindset to succeed and enter into the open world with a mindset that drives you with purposes and responsibility, and to become a productive society and people. Secondly, I concur, thank you very much, I concur with Nelson Mandela that education is the most powerful weapon that you can change the world, end of quote. This simply means young people must attend schools or training institutions. They must be provided with the option to either pursue white-collar scholarship or pursue trade, business, and innovation. But before I continue, I would like to acknowledge, and I must thank our education partners in all levels of education services, and significantly in the area of trade and vocational studies, for their ongoing commitment to education and training in this country. Our churches and private sector-run training institutions have tremendously contributed to skilled manpower and a positive mindset. We must continue to support these important institutions to support our young people. We must embrace our cultures, and with the appropriate literature, our young population can face the world and carry this country forward. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I am glad that our government had endorsed the labor apprenticeship and traineeship policy. This policy, ladies and gentlemen, will eventually add to the current fabric of our national approaches to enhance skill capacity for the labor market. And ladies and gentlemen, the Solomon Islands Apprenticeship Training Scheme was a launch scheme that provided industrial technical training to our people since the 1970s. Notably, we have now evolved into the digital era, and it is only timely, although late, to reform and develop one of our many new policies to support the growing challenges we face in terms of skills and industries. Such policies will create pathway training opportunities to meet the growing market demands of our country and develop employable, trained, and skilled manpower capacity. This policy should be able to respond to the challenge of qualified and skilled workers prepared to be self-employed and being employable. And I want to thank the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Commerce for bringing up that policy. What we're woken up to, ladies and gentlemen, is a rapid changing world of technology, which is at crossroads with our dire industrial infrastructure that has become our center of shift in how we do business in a developing island country. Industrial infrastructure must be developed, and technology should be used to advance trade for our benefit. And that's why I was thinking about establishing a ministry for technology. Yeah, but you need to look at that one. That's right. This is the technology age. And I put together, it will increase communication, therefore enhance opportunities that is present in the local market into export or international trade spectrum. Ladies and gentlemen, our young people must be able to access finance and engage in business in any form. This means that after our government had revitalized the Development Bank of Solomon Islands, it has introduced portfolios that is aimed at supporting our youth. For instance, the credit line products, where a $4 million allocation is managed by the Development Bank of Solomon Islands and can be utilized by youths to access finance at a special low interest rate. And ladies and gentlemen, we must continue to remind the bank to create more portfolios that streamlined youth efforts in business and enterprises. And sometimes, the politics want to involve go there, but they say, come this far. So, but you tell them got no more. Yeah, man. And this means opportunities must be modeled at the needs of our people to access finance and to pursue the risks of thinking outside the box and embarking into the serious world of business. Ladies and gentlemen, the government continues to support our youth entrepreneurship undertaking through the Value Adding and Downstream Processing Program with the Ministry of Commerce, with an allocated budget of $1 million for the purpose, whereby an estimated 40.7% of that value has been utilized in projects including furniture makings, creative arts, and tailoring. The other 59.3% supported youths who participated in fish processing and cover projects. Currently, ladies and gentlemen, around 1.3 million is allocated to assist youth entrepreneurship program in value-added projects. So far, the government, and that's the Ministry of Commerce, had received project proposals endorsed by YECSI management for funding under this allocated budget. And I thank you very much. And I noted this covers small food processing, creative arts, tailoring, and cover value adding. And so, ladies and gentlemen, under the government development budget for 2023, a further $1 million has been allocated to continue in supporting this youth entrepreneurship innovation program. $1 million no more, or you increasing more behind? Ladies and gentlemen, government policy non-government educational efforts, community support, and social interventions, individual efforts, and financial opportunities put together collaborates the environment to support our young people. Indeed, ladies and gentlemen, our government, including myself, has always had this special eye for our young people. With the earlier statistics we have at hand, ladies and gentlemen, we are fully aware of the challenges our small economy and social services have been faced with. That is why we have no hesitation whatsoever to support the unique undertakings as that of YECSI. YECSI, ladies and gentlemen, must be applauded. Must be applauded. And I think we do it right now. Must be applauded. That's right. For taking the frontline initiative to put perspective, inspire, connect, and collaborate with our youths. And I fully appreciate that through the development of the government youth policy a few years ago, and with the drive of like-minded citizens, you have developed YECSI to where it is today. And I want to just thank those people who drive this thing. I mean, thank you for the youth that are involved. Look, local private sector businessmen and women, national and international volunteers, tonight you can tap yourselves on the back and congratulate all of us to take us to where we are today. Additionally, when politicians talk, and we are paid to talk, so additionally, ladies and gentlemen, I hereby encourage YECSI to improve better partnership and develop innovative modalities with the government through the Ministry of Commerce to fully utilize these funding allocations, modalities that should specifically cover entrepreneurial programs and small-scale value-adding projects, technical entrepreneurship, training, mentoring, monitoring, and evaluation of programs to empower the youths in their entrepreneurial initiatives. This is very, very important to nurture the partnership we have developed so far. The path ahead will not be easy, but together we can face the challenges and develop a positive, youthful population to carry our nation forward. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, we are part of a global community in trade and economics. The regional and international environment is the theater of economic activities that is also trigger to local opportunities. We therefore must also connect our youth to look into the future through the progress of our nation, of our region. As such, I will advise our officials to explore means in which we can engage our youth in the regional and international level to assist us in our challenges. I will not rule out the proposal and development of a youth program with the Melanesian Spearhead Group to engage with our youth population. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, to conclude, and this is really to conclude now. The youth of today must develop that mindset to be business entrepreneurs. And you're telling me, what do you come tell them? Entrepreneurs finish now. They will have to engage in business, local and international business opportunities. The world of business is an open one for this country. And with the appropriate intervention, I am optimistic our young people will endure and be part of the productive sector that spins our economy to support our population and national endeavors. To this end, I make a pledge to support YECSI with a $50,000 now this time, grant to support and open business opportunities to our young entrepreneurs. 50,000 no more? Why you mean increasing behind? Why you increasing behind? This fund will be transacted to YECSI in the next couple couple of days or weeks? Weeks, days. Together, what? We can move mountains. Together we can build a better future for our country. We are one people. We are one country. We are Solomon Islands. To God be the glory. Great things he has done for this great nation, and he will continue to do for this great nation. May God bless Solomon Islands from shore to shore.